Very interesting up at Burnley yesterday where Chelsea played, and this is an example of where politics drifts into sport. They try and keep it out of it where they can, but yesterday it was unavoidable. And I don't know if you saw, Chelsea went to Burnley and won 4-0. It keeps them comfortably within the top 4 places, but that wasn't really the story. Everywhere had a minute's applause for Ukraine yesterday to show a show of solidarity. There are 3 Ukrainian players in the Premier League at the moment, and the Premier League wanted to show some solidarity, but the Chelsea fans in the away enclosure up at Turf Moor decided instead to shout Roman Abramovich over the top of that. This is, of course, in relation to their owner, who is putting this club up for sale. The supporters probably look at that and think, well, their owner's being hounded out of the club. There's no proof that he has links to Putin. They've had an unassailable, well, not an unassailable level of success, but certainly they've not had that kind of success.
Have loved Abramovich.
19 trophies in 19 years. I mean, you can't get much better than that, to be honest with you. But yeah, so it's been reflected on the back page of the paper today. There's Sunday Mirror Sport, no respect. I don't know if we can see that, but you were talking there about Thomas Tuchel, the Chelsea head coach. Now, what normally happens in these situations is that the coach is interviewed after the match, and they give quite a diplomatic response. They don't want to criticise their own fans, they don't want to criticise their own owner, but they're mindful that they're in this big juggernaut thing called the Premier League. But he didn't hold back. I mean, I've got some quotes here. He said, so this is in response to the Chelsea fans shouting for Abramovich. He said, it's not the moment to do this. If we show solidarity, then we should do it together. It's a moment to show, now is the time to show respect. As a club, we need to commit to a minute's applause. So he was very definite. Maybe he's thinking, well, Abramovich might not be my boss for too much longer. No. If they can sell it, obviously.
It was the right thing to say as well, wasn't it? I
completely agree with you. He's somebody. I did his first interview in England, which would have been 13 months ago, in my dining room on Zoom. That's the times we were in at the time at that moment. And I was initially struck by how straight and direct this guy was. And he's earned a lot of friends for the way he's carried himself through this turmoil over the last 10 days or so. It's been foisted upon him.
It can't have been easy, can it?
No, he's not. It's also not his job. I mean, he's a football coach. I mean, he would listen. If he was here now, he'd say, well, actually, it's part of my job. You never know what's going to come up. Politics does come into football. I'm the custodian. I'm the leader of this club, and I will lead it, come what may. And he's doing that. And I suppose he's backed up with the fact that he's won trophies since he's been there. He's got a lot of credit in the bank because he won the Champions League almost apropos of nothing last season. I mean, they were going nowhere this time last year, and then he shot them up the table, and he landed them an unlikely Champions League win, only the second in their history. So he's a man with he's certainly stars on the rise, certainly, and I think his direct speaking in the eye of a storm here has won him a lot of friends, not just at Chelsea but outside as well.